What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Clutch Cinema Talk. This is not going to be a movie review today. Instead, today we're just going to be talking about Spider-Man, just the recent news that's been going on with Spider-Man concerning with the MCU and Sony and all that money business. You know how it is today. But that's what we're going to be doing. Hold on. Sorry about that. All right, so a few weeks ago, as everybody knows, let's just do a recap. A few weeks ago, everybody knows, Spider-Man was pulled out of the MCU because Disney and Sony, they had a few disagreements about their current deal regarding the rights of Spider-Man. And, you know, Disney was asking, they're like, yo, we want some more money. We don't have enough. And Sony was like, you're wildin', all right? Chill with that deal. You know what? We don't even need you. So they pulled Spider-Man out. They pulled the plug on that. And then, are you goddamn... Hold on. So yeah, they pulled him out. They pulled him out the MCU. And at that time, I was like, I can compare it to when OBJ got traded from the Giants, because I was just losing my mind. And it was one of those things where it was like, this is not happening. This is not happening. And you see all these posts and you're like, someone please just say it's a joke. Please say it's a joke. It was not a joke. It was not a joke both times. When Spider-Man got pulled out, I was just crushed, man, because it felt like Marvel worked so hard just to get him in there, and they were building him up to be this huge thing. And it's funny because when it happened, I was like, damn, I said this in my first in my spoiler talk for Spider-Man. Go back to that. Made it feel like Spidey, like I said, Spidey is gonna be the new big boy of Marvel. He's gonna be he's up and coming. He's up and coming, and I just can't wait to see what Spidey's gonna do. So I was like, that's not happening no more. Spider-Man no more. And then I was thinking, how they gonna draw him out of the MCU? I mean, it leaves off where his identity is given away, and what he just got shook so bad he spends time hiding, just like that. I had no idea how they're gonna write him out or how they would write them out, and I was just like, yo, this cannot be happening. And I just did not want anything to do with Marvel, just like when OBJ got traded. I did not want to know anything about the Giants. And because they were announcing all these TV shows and everything. I was like, I do not care about no goddamn Moon Knight. Please bring back Spider-Man. Please bring back Spider-Man. But then some interesting news popped up last week. Apparently, Sony offered Disney 30% of Spider-Man's profit for Spider-Man and Venom. Now, when I heard that, I was like, Disney, why would you not pull the trigger on that? That sounds like, that sounds beautiful. I would take that. Spidey and Venom, combine that in MCU. Oh my god. But then some more interesting news popped up. Apparently, the Spider-Man deals have been put on hold because Apple is looking to buy out Sony for themselves. And not just Apple. There's also reports that Amazon is looking to buy out Sony as well. And the reason for this is because both companies are looking to find a company that way they could theatrically release movies like that instead of having on top of their streaming services that they already have. So Disney is you know, they're chilling in the back and they're like, how about you hold on a second, let's see if you get bought out first, because if Sony gets bought out by Apple or Amazon, the rights automatically go of Spider-Man and all other characters that are owned by Sony, which is Venom and like more that vampire dude, more whatever. The rights automatically go back to Disney, and then that way they could get them for free without even having to buy anything, without even have to agree to any deals. So Marvel's trying to finesse Sony right now by just waiting. And that's interesting because a lot of you people are still crying over the fact that Spider-Man not going to be back. But everything, all about things is just deals, man. They were just being two little babies, just arguing about money. There's no way this is permanent. No way I think this is gonna be permanent. Spider-Man's gonna come back one way or another, and by the looks of it, it's very likely now that Marvel, Disney might be getting them back for free. But let's quickly talk about possibilities of Spider-Man not being in the MCU. Him having to be pulled out means Marvel has to cut off that, that direction they were going with building up Spider-Man to be the new Tony Stark, and they would have to just write him off in a creative way. I don't know how they would do it, but that's how they're going to have to do it. Now that leaves a lot of possibilities of what Tom Holland and his Spider-Man could be. He could possibly be put in the Spider-Verse sequel. As you know, there is going to be a Spider-Man sequel eventually. He could be put in there. Some people have not dreamed, but thought about. I'm looking at the poster back there. I swear, if it falls one more time, I'm ripping it off. Having Holland. I'm just gonna let it hang there. As I was saying, people are thinking they could have a movie where Holland teams up with Tobey Maguire, the 2002 Spider-Man, 2000 Spider-Man, and Andrew Garfield, the late 2000s Spider-Man. Something like that, nostalgia or whatever. But if Sony keeps making Spider-Man movies, they won't make the same amount of money as they will with the MCU. Because with the MCU, the last two Spider-Man movies made over $1 billion. And it didn't stick out to the Spider-Man fans only. All the fans that had been watching the MCU, that jumped on for the MCU, Spider-Mans were just part of the continued... what am I trying to say? The timeline. And they would just jump onto the timeline, and you would have to watch that movie. And, that gets more fans becoming Spider-Man fans like that. So then Sony wouldn't be making as much money with their Spider-Man films, especially since their last, besides Spider-Verse, as it was a very good movie, it didn't make as much money as they would liked of. And with Andrew Garfield movies, those did not get too, they weren't that great. The first one was alright, but the second one was really bad. And they just, it is not that good by themselves. Now, with the possibility of Spider-Man returning to the MCU, and Venom, and their the vampire dude, I forgot his name, with them returning, that opens up Venom being in the MCU. Then they continue the arc of Spider-Man being built up as the next Tony Stark. They continue with the storyline with his identity getting away and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And they can lead up to the arc of the Sinister Six, which could be done with Sony, but it'll be so much better with MCU. Because apparently the third Spider-Man movie, Kraven the Hunter and Scorpion are going to most likely be the villains, and that just builds up what can be a Sinister Six. Sinister Six is this Kraven, Scorpion, you got Vulture, you got the Shocker, that's 4, right? Mysterio, maybe. Apparently he's dead. I don't think so. He's a Master of Illusion. You can never count him out. Mysterio, and then you got a bunch of villains you can make. You could introduce Doc Ock. You could bring in Rhino, Electro, anybody to fill in that 6 spot. Oh, and Chameleon. You could bring in the Chameleon too. Now, Spider-Man 3, it better be called, if they want to continue the home thing, it should be called Spider-Man is Back Home. Shut up, Disney. You got enough money. That's what I would call it. Disney's being goddamn annoying. But only time will tell, as the talks are still on hold. Disney's waiting to see if Sony is being bought out. And all we could do is wait. There won't be a Spider-Man movie for a while, especially since, Phase 4 hasn't announced a Spider-Man movie. That could change, obviously. But I don't know how long they're going to take. Tom Holland is not going to have that baby face forever. But we'll see what happens with Spider-Man and the MCU and Sony. But do not give up hope. As many people have. Do not give up hope. Spider-Man should be back. That's what I think. Alright, so that was, quick little talk. I honestly have no idea how long this video is. I just been going in straight through. But that's my talk. I just been wanting to talk about Spider-Man for a while. And this recent news gave me a perfect opportunity. If more news comes out, I'll be come out with a new video just talking about it. But until then, it's been ya boy. K. That's not a K. K. I'm not gonna do C. KC on Clutch Cinema Talk. I don't know what that was. I'll see you next time. I don't know if I'm gonna see a movie this week. Joker's coming out next week. I'm super excited to see that. I hope you guys come support. If you like this video, drop a like. Comment what you think about the Spider-Man deal. Look at my hand. What am I doing? And subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Watch my older reviews. I just dropped 2 new ones. I'll be back with some new content, I hope. I'm out of here. Yeah.